It is a very beautiful morning here in the city of Jos and its environ. I believe it is the same with you if you live around Jos City. Today is a very cold morning with a weather of about 22 degrees Celsius. If you can hear me this morning, then it means you're rightly tuned into the frequency meter of Unity 93.3 FM and TV. And of course, today is Thursday, the 28th day of November 2024. It is almost a weekend. By tomorrow, we'll be saying, thank God, it is Friday. The day is fast spent. The week is fast spent. And by the grace of God, I believe your plans for the week and targets for the week are being met. And if they are not, it is still not too late. You have today and tomorrow to actually meet those needs and targets for the week. It is still that your most anticipated political and socio-economic program on the radio, the Unity Train. And this morning we are going to be taking you on a ride. It promises to be very exciting and very, very impactful. It is going to be very informative and educative, considering the fact that I am not alone in the studio this morning. I am graced with the presence of one whose voice you long to hear every morning. This morning, we are not going to be doing it differently. We're doing it the same way we used to doing it. In 3 segments. The first segment is going to be the newspaper review, and the second segment is going to be the transit segment, where we give insight as to a lot of issues that we have on ground today, especially as it concerns our dear nation, Nigeria. The third segment is going to be the segment I call your segment, where you can call in and give your input, especially concerning the issues we have to discuss in the house and other issues that you have personally that you want to put out there to the appropriate authority to pay attention to. When it is time for you to actually call us, you can call us through this line, 070-3231-3315. And when you want to send in your SMS, 9208163141141. On Facebook, you can get us on Unity FM/TV Jos, and on YouTube, we're on Unity FM TV. This morning, I am not alone. I am blessed with the presence of our usual professor in the house. He is a voice that you would want to hear, that voice that will stand in for the cause of humanity at any point in time without thinking twice. He is here with me in the studio, and without any wasting of time, I would want him to say good morning to you. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning, Pedro Michael. You're looking fantastically dressed, and I hope you've eaten Suda Makan.
Suda, sir.
Viewers, listeners, Suda Makan, have you eaten? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. We are glad to be counted among the living. Today is a very beautiful day, fantastic day, 28th November 2024. And it's a privilege to have yet another opportunity to impact lives, to do something wonderful for humanity. And I want to encourage you that today should be a day that you always remember that you did something good to your neighbor, to your friend, that you impacted humanity positively. But let me quickly remind you about your goals, your dreams, your objectives for 2024. Because in about 32 or 33 or how many days from now, we'll be saying Happy New Year. It will be another New Year again. How far so far have you gone about those goals for 2024 and beyond? Are you 90%, 100%, 50%? Have you achieved all your goals? Is there just one more or 2 more remaining? Your goals must be SMART. That means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Remember that achieving goals and dreams is not a bed of roses. There will surely be obstacles. There will be difficulties. There will be challenges. There will be ups and downs. There will be times you feel like giving up. Somebody achieved his goals for 2024. Donald Trump. They attempted to assassinate him twice within 2 months. He suffered assassination attempts. I mean, it was difficult and rugged for him with court cases, criminal allegations against him, insults and all that on his personality and person. But he was focused on his objectives and goals that were SMART, That means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And today is the president-elect of the United States of America. What about you? Those goals, those dreams, those objectives, you can achieve them. In fact, reach for the stars. Aim very high. Let the sky be your beginning, not your limit, not your end. You see, there is nothing impossible. Impossible only exists in your imagination, because even impossible says I apostrophe M possible. It means impossible says I'm possible. In fact, experts around the world have said we should remove the word impossible from the dictionary, because what do you think is impossible? Humanity have been able to achieve it. 70 years ago, it was impossible to transplant an organ from somebody's body to another, but today is history. We have heart transplants, kidney transplants, and other organ transplants. Over 100 years ago, it was thought to be impossible for man to fly in the skies. The Wright brothers proved that the impossible is possible. Today, we do not only fly from one continent to the other, but we even have planes, aeroplanes that move at supersonic speed, at twice the speed of sound. In fact, recently, I learned that they have planes that move at 4 times the speed of sound. So there is nothing impossible. I'll encourage you, perspire to acquire what you require in your life. In case you do not acquire, don't retire, refire. Keep pushing on. Don't give up. Don't limit yourself. Don't have this mentality that, oh, it cannot be done, I cannot do it. Be a believer in possibilities. If you failed once, try the second time. Try the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time. Don't stop on the way. Keep trying until you get to your goals. Failure is not fatal. Success is not final. It is the will, the courage to continue that counts. Go out there today, make a difference in your own life, in somebody's life. Be a blessing to someone. Go out there and tell yourself that I can make it, I can do it. Go out there and say, no matter the economy of Nigeria, things will get better for me. You know, I was discussing with someone, and he said that, do you know that these are the best of times for some of us? While some people are crying and are screaming about the economy, some people are smiling and saying we've never had it better. Because you see, where there is problem, there is money. Where there is problem, there is money. Solve the problem, you collect the money. So don't give up. Tough times don't last. It is tough people that do. Go out there today and be the change that you want to see in the world.
Thank you, Professor. I will say also, go out there and putting it in mind that you are not going to be so poor that the only thing you have is money. Relationship is the only thing, only currency that pays for everything on earth. So build quality relationship, impact somebody in the little way that you can. Only that way can you say you are living a purposeful life. Well, with that being said, I'm just going to go straight into the newspaper headlines this morning, and I'm starting with the Matrix. The Matrix has this to say: tax reform bills, Senate in rowdy sections. Ndume kicks against federal inland revenues boss appearance at plenary. 60 taxes levies collected across Nigeria, nothing to show for them. Oyedele. FG projects 33 trillion in revenue from livestock sector. Yaya Bello remains in EFCC custody for 2 weeks, says court. Justice Anini to rule on bail application December 10th. Records before court demonstrate bad conduct, not deserving of bail prosecution. Mild drama as judge angrily leaves courtroom over rowdiness. Obi charges NNPCL on accountability of newly launched Port Harcourt refinery operations. Supreme Court upholds Sly Ezio Kenwa as ABGA national chairman. That is from the Matrix. And the Nation has this to say: how tax reforms will transform economy by President's team. Edo schools in deplorable conditions, says Okwebolo. Act now on Almajirit time bomb, says Governor Sule. Trying to say that Almajiris, if not acted on or not given the due attention they should be given to, they are like a time bomb. This one says, make national interest priority, Gowon tells northern leaders. Port Harcourt refinery petrol only for NNPCL outlets. Yahya Bello gets December 10th date for trial in 110 billion fraud charge. The Punch has this to say: marketers threaten boycott as NNPCL juggles petrol price. Tinubu to name new envoys after France, South Africa's visit. 30-year experience prepared me for Chief of Army Staff job, Oluyede. Finish court sets May 25th, 2025 date for ECPA's trial. Tax panel to defend bill at Senate debate today. Vanguard has this to say. On Vanguard, there is tax reform bills. Nigerians earning below 1 million are exempted from income tax. Reps investigate discourse over failure to replace obsolete meters. Experts to call for intervention in raising cases of diabetes. This is on Punch this morning. I think
let's begin from the tax reform bill. Seems to be in every one of the newspapers in recent days, and it's been a trending story for weeks now, since politicians like Senator Ali Ndume came out to say, if you bring it to the floor of the Senate, it will be death on arrival. And then some of his colleagues also countered by saying, no, it's not going to be death on arrival. Well, finally, it is coming to the National Assembly. And you wonder, what exactly does the government want to achieve by the tax reform bill? Is it that we are not collecting enough taxes? Is it that the government is not making enough money? Is it that there is something wrong with our current tax regime in the country? To me, tax reform bill is not the problem of Nigeria. That is not the most important thing at this particular point in time. Ask yourself, all the tax that they have been collecting since independence, what have we done with it? For some of us who work for the federal government, my salary is taxed at source before it even gets to me. And it is heavily taxed. The tax on my salary is more than the tax that I was paying as a foreigner working in Malaysia. It's more than the tax I was paying as a foreigner working in East Africa. In fact, sometimes when you just look at your salary and you see how much they have removed as tax, you ask yourself, is it worth it to be a Nigerian working in your own country and your salary is heavily taxed like this under the IPPIS, that they're saying universities now will be exempted from the IPPIS. So with the humongous amounts they remove from salaries, they remove 80,000, 100,000, 120, 140,000 from salaries. And you ask yourself, how much is left after it is removed? And what is done with the money? Because IPPS will even remove, sometimes someone, they will even say it's a mistake, but they never rectify it. Now, so the problem is not the collection of the tax, because to my mind, I think the federal government is trying to see how they can increase internally generated revenue. So they want to use the FIRS, collect more tax, if you have this tax reform bill, They're even saying now that Nigerians who are earning less than $1 million might not pay so much of income tax. And the question is, how many Nigerians are you talking about?
How many Nigerians are actually?
How many Nigerians are even? How many Nigerians are even working? You know, with the federal government. So if Nigerians earning less than $1 million, all right, will be exempted, then how many are the ones that are earning over $1 million?
Over $1 million.
So there is a problem with this tax reform bill. It needs a lot of clarity. That's why it is good that the National Assembly has invited the people concerned to come and explain what exactly they want to do. But I wish that His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu will face squarely the real problems of Nigeria. It is not tax. Have you solved the problem of insecurity in the country? Without security, you think that you can be collecting tax? When the bandits, when the Lakurawas, when the ISWAP and Boko Haram and IPOP and herdsmen, so-called herdsmen, terrorists across the country are collecting a lot of tax from innocent Nigerians. And they're collecting millions. They don't even care how much you're earning. Have we solved that problem that now we are thinking about reforming the tax across the country, you know, and all that, and some of our politicians, are they even paying tax? And some of these politicians, they're the first to collect salaries before even small junior workers in the federal service collect salary. The politicians have collected their salaries. By the 20th and 25th of the month, they have collected. Those working for CBN have collected. Those working in NNPC and the rest, they have collected. It is whatever is left that they begin to think about the real civil servants.
The ones that are actually doing the job.
Who are doing the job. Which is very sad. Because ideally, if we had leaders with integrity and character in this country, all the senators and the members of the House of Rep and the president and the ministers and all political appointees should not collect any salary until every Nigerian who is working for the federal government and the state government have collected their salaries.
Including the local government.
Something is left, then the political leaders can now collect. But they do the reverse. They pay themselves first. They don't care whether the civil servants are paid or not. They don't care whether there is a problem in the system and people have not received salaries. Some of us don't receive our salaries until the next month. Sometimes it goes to 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th of the next month. And sometimes the salary of some people will even disappear in the system. But the politicians collect salary that they don't need and they collect it before the civil servants. And we say that we really have leaders in this country. And these are things that we should be talking about. Not a tax reform bill. Is that what is going to solve the problem of Nigeria? Is that what is going to make Nigeria a developed country? Is that what is going to make us advance? Is that what is going to solve the problem of hunger? Will that bring food on the table of the average Nigerian? Is that going to bring security to the country? Is that going to solve the problem of the health sector? Is that going to solve the problem of infrastructure, roads across the country? Is that the immediate need of Nigeria?
Even considering the fact that...
You see, we have a lot of money in this country. In fact, the money from oil alone. How did Saudi Arabia become what it is today? They used their oil wealth.
True.
They used it fantastically well. Kuwait used their own wealth. But what is happening to Nigeria? We have so much oil, but look at where we are today. In fact, the oil wealth has become like a curse to Nigeria. Sometimes some of us wish that oil was never discovered in this country. Because before oil was discovered, our economy was fantastically well. Our economy was doing very well.
Yeah.
I mean that Nigerians had less problems before oil was discovered.
Very true.
With the discovery of oil, our lazy politicians, lazy leaders over the years abandoned agriculture, abandoned other mineral resources and everything because they're lazy. They focused on lazy money from oil. And instead of them to even use it well, they did not. During the days of the oil booms of the 70s,
go on.
The 70s, we had oil boom. Instead of us to save for the rainy day, we were just squandering the money. We were even bragging that our problem was not money, but what to do with it. We did not know what to do with money. I mean, are you a leader if you don't know what to do with money? Give me money today, no matter the amount. I already know what to do with it.
Of course.
You don't know what to do with money and you're a leader. You shouldn't be occupying office. Now, we squandered and wasted the money. Now look at where we are today. 133 million Nigerians living in poverty.
Abject poverty.
And that is the legacy of leadership over the years in this country. That is the legacy our political leaders have handed over from generation to generation. More poverty, more poverty, more poverty, more unemployment, more insecurity, more chaos, more confusion in the country, and depreciating infrastructure, dilapidated infrastructure, more and more problems and crises across the country. Now they're talking about the Port Harcourt refinery. After many years of lies and deceit, so the Port Harcourt refinery, they said, has finally come into operation.
About this Port Harcourt refinery, there's a lot I would want us to look into, especially concerning the seamless running of the refinery and whose interest the refinery is going to project in the long run. But before we have that conversation, I would beg you to permit us to go on this very short break. When we come back, we're going to be having that conversation in-depthly, and the professor will give us an insight into the questions that we have to ask. Please stay tuned. When we come back, we'll be having that conversation.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune in to Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
Pay attention, it starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way.
It concerns you. It kill love, it kill dreams. It land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was saying things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Unity. Unity TV.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here.
Short break. If you can still hear my voice, then it means you're rightly tuned into the frequency meter of Unity 93.3 FM and TV. And of course, it is still that your most anticipated political and socio-economic program on the radio, the Unity Train. Of course, today, I'm still your anchor. Michael Pedro is my name, and I'm not alone in the studio. I'm seated with me here in the studio is Professor Paveno H. Bameyi. And we've had a lot of discussion in the first segment of this program. If you're just joining us, we have been having discussion around certain issues that concerns dear nation Nigeria, and I believe you are going to be interested in what we are the conversation we've been having over time before you joined. Well, sit down and keep your fingers crossed as we take you on this ride. It promises to be very informative and educative. The senator had a lot the professor had a lot to say this morning in the House. Professor, I'm already giving you the title of a senator. He has a lot to say this morning, and we are going to be continuing from where we stopped before we went on that break. Professor, you were saying something before we went on that very break. Sorry for that. Do I say interruption or something?
The Port Harcourt refinery was what we're talking about. In 1965, when the Port Harcourt refinery was first built, it was built with a capacity of 60,000 barrels per day. In 1989, during the regime of President Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, head of state and military president of Nigeria at that time, the capacity of the Port Harcourt refinery was increased to 150,000 barrels per day. By the time we started the Fourth Republic and we entered the year 2000, 2001, the Port Harcourt refinery kept on experiencing more and more problems, until it had to be partially shut down and then completely shut down. In the year 2021, President Muhammadu Buhari awarded a contract to modernize and upgrade facilities at the Port Harcourt refinery, and that costed at least $1.5 billion. $1.5 billion. So the process was kick-started under the Buhari administration. And then men like Mele Kerry kept promising us it will be completed by so time, by so time it will be done, by so time. Those lies and deceit and craftiness went on. Even this year he lied again. How many times? But finally, we're in November, and they claim that the refinery is back to life. It is a shame and a disgrace that refineries in this country were allowed to not only deteriorate, but they became dilapidated, and they even went out of function. While those who claim to be working in those refineries and those who had the oversight of those refineries were still collecting their salaries and paying themselves even bonuses. But the likes of Mele Kyari and the Ahmed Farouks and all the rest of them kept on enjoying themselves. NNPC was dying and dying. If our NNPC became dead, they were not even refining any.
The country's #1 source of revenue, not given priority.
And it is because of this human greed, pecuniary avarice, corruption, and incompetence that we had at NNPC. Later they called themselves, or changed themselves to NNPCL. It was just a change of name. It did not improve any function.
I think the L makes a lot of sense since they are now limited.
They now say that they are a company. They have always been limited. All right? So I think it is just we keep deceiving ourselves. Ideally, becoming NNPCL, they should have become more productive. They should have become like a privately run industry, organization, factory, and all the rest. But what we saw was far from what we were expecting. And it is still far from expectation up to now. Now, all those other refineries, if we had a serious government, those refineries will come to operation within a matter of a few weeks. When Buhari came into office, before the election, they promised us that all our refineries will be working. Just give us 3 months, give us 6 months. This one will start, followed by the other one, followed by the other one. They will all be, functioning. The elders have a saying that talk is cheap. It is easy to just say something, but to do it is a problem. Throughout the 8 years of the Buhari administration, he was not able to revive a single refinery, and he left office without any apology. And if you meet him today, he thinks that he's a hero. But he did very little or anything at all to improve the lot of Nigerians. It was 8 years of torture, of affliction, of agony, of lies, of deceit, of corruption. Under the Buhari administration, even animals became corrupt. Snakes, pythons were swallowing money. Even termites were implicated. Even monkeys were said to have swallowed money. Termites that they ate, vultures and all manner of things. Go back to the news again. The good thing is that the internet does not forget there was so much corruption under the Buhari administration that Nigeria was stinking with corruption. And that was a man that was supposed to fight corruption, but his administration became the personification of corruption.
Actually, I remember his campaign mantra was a fight against corruption. In fact, they projected corruption so much as if they come, corruption is going to come to an end in a week.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu is fighting corruption better than Buhari. Without even making noise.
I agree with you.
Without even making noise. He did not come on the mantra of, I will fight corruption, I am a no-nonsense leader, I will destroy corruption and all that. He didn't make much noise, but he's fighting corruption better than the Buhari administration. You know,
very true.
So the factories, you know, became moribund. The refineries became moribund. Our refineries died. But now, the Port Harcourt refinery is picking up. Is this something to celebrate? I don't celebrate at all. It is a shame. It is a shame that we're even celebrating 60,000 barrels a day. It is a shame that all these years we could not fix a single refinery. And it has taken us this long that we're even fixing this one that is shrouded in controversies. Our leaders should be saying sorry to us. They should be apologizing and saying, begging us and saying, please, we are sorry that it is just now the Port Harcourt refinery is coming into operation. We are sorry, we're going to fix the Kaduna refinery. We are sorry, we will fix the Warri refinery. We are sorry, this is what we're going to be doing. But they're celebrating themselves, giving themselves a pat on the back. It is unfortunate that this is the crop of leaders that we voted into office in this country, highly incompetent, and then appointing incompetent people to head various MDAs across the country, and allowing incompetent men like Mele Kyari to occupy and remain in office for years.
Sensitive office.
In spite of the fact that we've been shouting that men like Mele Kyari should be sacked with immediate effect, the government is still dilly-dallying with the idea. The government is not even, you know, considering it as a serious matter. Those are the kind of men that you don't want to work with. Incompetent liars. Men that are deceitful and cunningly crafty. Mele Kyari, if he had any integrity, should have long resigned. I don't know what Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president, is waiting for to sack men like Mele Kyari. There are many of such people in his government that should be shown the way out. They should not be keeping their jobs at the detriment of Nigerians. If I were the president, more than half of the current ministers should be sacked. They are not performing.
Now, what's on the street from yesterday? You hear Nigerians saying Mele Kyari is actually doing well, considering the fact that the PH refinery is revived and then currently functioning.
Because of 60,000 barrels a day. Because of one refinery that should have been fixed many years ago. You say he's doing well? I mean, can we ask Egypt? Can we ask Saudi Arabia? Ask Kuwait? Ask countries that are serious, even our neighbors here, even small, tiny countries in Africa that have some oil, that you fixed a 60,000 capacity, 60,000 barrels a day capacity refinery, that it is something big, something to celebrate. Look at Dangote refinery, 650,000. And he's an individual, a private individual, not even the government. We're talking about the whole of the federal government of Nigeria. It has taken them 20, 30 years to fix one refinery, and we should be celebrating.
Well, sir, you know,
I think Nigerians were joking. Men like Mele Kyari should have been sacked a long time ago. All our refineries are supposed to be functional and working. Why have they not been fixed to this day? That should be investigated, and all those who have been sabotaging the efforts over the years should have faced the music for their action. And look at it, the president is even the minister of petroleum, because Buhari gave himself that portfolio, and His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu came and also gave himself that portfolio. The president should have sacked himself as the minister for petroleum resources, you know, because he's not doing well at all.
I think, sir, that's another thing that is worth giving serious attention to. This new trend of the president being the minister of petroleum.
Why the interest in the oil?
Why the interest? And again, you know, there's this saying that says, whatever you permit, consistency and reputation is a key to persuasion. What you accept and then practice in this in a generation might be passed to another generation, and When it gets to the third generation, it has already become a culture.
Absolutely.
So this very culture that we're trying to develop of the president being the minister of petroleum should be seriously criticized. Else it will get to a point whereby it will become a norm. And then that is going to give room to a lot of corrupt practices.
It has already become a norm.
Yes.
And is the president telling us that the whole of Nigeria with more than 200 million people, experts and technocrats, that there is no Nigerian on earth that is qualified to be the minister for petroleum resources? You have to take that office and occupy it when you are not even doing well as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Academic
you are not even doing well in that area. You are adding more to your responsibilities. You are saying nobody else is qualified to handle it. Only you are qualified. And then look at the mess that we find ourselves as a country. Petroleum price fluctuation, increase upon increase upon increase, unending queues in petrol stations across the country. Oil bunkering has not stopped. And we even have adulterated fuel at a certain point that destroyed people's car engines in this country. We have all manner of sharp practices across the country as it concerns oil. And yet the president is the minister for petroleum resources. And if you ask him, he thinks that he's doing well. And that is why in this country we need to talk truth to power. We should be telling our leaders the truth. All these sycophants that don't tell leaders the truth. You say the senator is doing well when he's not. The House of Rep member is doing well. The governor is doing well. The president is doing well. Everybody is doing well. If all of them are doing well, why is Nigeria still an underdeveloped country?
Unfortunately, when you come on,
why is Nigeria still extremely corrupt? Why is still Nigeria besieged, bedeviled by all these hydra-headed problems? If they're doing well.
Everybody wants to sound politically right. When you come on air, you want to talk, you want to be politically right. You don't want to say anything that's going to hurt anybody. So because you are afraid something might follow afterwards, and their security is paramount, because as it is right
now. And that is why you see that our leaders keep indulging themselves in sharp practices, indulging themselves in mediocrity, indulging themselves in things that are not helping the country. Because nobody is telling them the truth. When they go, the clerics will say you're doing well. When they meet their classmates, they will say you're doing well. When they go for town hall meetings, they will say you're doing well. When they invite them for bazaars, for church functions, for mosque functions, they will say you're doing well. When they go for old boys association, they will tell them they're doing well. So they relax. Because everybody is saying they're doing well. Everybody is saying they're doing well. Can we have a country where we will have clerics who have the guts, the audacity, the boldness, the courage to say no to the money of politicians? Look at Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya. The Catholic Church rejected the money given by the president of Kenya. They said, we are not collecting that money, William Ruto. Not when our country is like this. And Kenya is better than Nigeria.
Way better.
Doing much better than Nigeria.
Way better economically.
The average university in Kenya is better than the universities in Nigeria. Their economy is better than ours. Their currency is better than ours. Go to Kenya, they are much better than us, than even by democracy. But the president donated money, the Catholic Church said, no, we will not collect your money. In Nigeria, in fact, we will not only collect, but we will be the ones begging and saying, please give us the money. Why is that money you promise? In fact, we will have clerics, we will have people going to beg politicians for money. We invite politicians to come and donate in our churches.
But you know, sir, I wish we have more of Matthew Kuka in Nigeria, because so far so good. I feel he's the only one that is the one that actually comes out to condemn certain actions by the government. He is loud when it comes to politics, and then he tries to point out things that are going wrong and then try to correct them one way or the other, using his office as a cleric.
Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka is one of the few Nigerians who dare to speak truth to power. I wish that we had many more of such men of courage. Men who are not interested in brown envelopes or alerts from politicians. Men who can step on toes and they don't care whose ox is God. Men who can say it raw the way it is. We need such men across the country. There are very few.
Very, very.
But thank God for the few that we have. We hope that we can have many more, so that our politicians can hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. If you tell them the truth, you will see the spokespersons coming out to attack you. The spokespersons of the president, spokespersons of the governor. They will just come and attack you. And they will start even tracing your past. They will even go and say, this one happened, that one happened. They will start creating stories and saying all manner of things. You know, when Buhari was in office, his attack dogs, Garba Shehu, Femi, Ade, Suna, and all the rest of them, you know, immediately somebody makes a say, they will just come out and they begin to attack and attack and attack and attack the person. Where are they today? Power is transient. When God gives you power, use it to better the lot of the people. Where are the Garba Shehus today? Where is Femi Adesina today? Where are all the rest of the sycophants? Have they not gone with Muhammadu Buhari? Today, it is Bola Ahmed Tinubu that is the president. The Daniel Bolas are there, the Bayo Oyanugas and the rest of them are there, and they'll be making noise. But it is also transient. Soon, they'll be out of the stage. Whenever God gives you an opportunity to occupy a public office, use it to better the lot of the people. Use it to serve the people. Use it as a man of character and integrity to do what is right, because power is transient.
Unfortunately, the past administration has come and gone, and then whatever they did, they have gone with it, but the footprints is still here. We are making reference to them, and not positive reference.
They have not really gone with it because they have left a lot of problems for us.
Yes,
we're making lot of problems of insecurity that we have in this country was as a result of the inaction of the Muhammadu Buhari's administration. When he came as a general, we had high expectations of him. But within 1 year, we were already seeing the disappointment. We were already regretting such a man. Amazingly, he even won a second term in office, and it was a disaster for the country. We hope that His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu can learn from the failure of the Buhari administration and do something decisive. Of course, he is doing something a bit microscopically, well, when it comes to security in the country. He is attacking insecurity better than the Buhari administration, but it is not enough. Actually. And that is why I don't want to praise His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, so that he doesn't go to sleep. He needs to wake up and do more than what he is doing. He needs to do times 100 or times 1,000 of what he is doing now to ensure that this country is secured. If we don't have a secure country, forget about all the traveling he's doing around the world. Currently now, he's in France with the First Lady. And they're having a nice time with Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte Macron. I hope that the lessons they will learn in France, they will come back and implement them and make Nigeria like France. It is not traveling about for tourism, traveling and moving about from one nation to the other. That is not it. What do you learn from those journeys? Unfortunately, and how do you make your country better as a result of your travels?
Most of these travels are supposed to add to knowledge, because as you go to other countries, you see how things are being done, and then one who has the political will to actually better the life of his people would come back with that in mind to actually implement. But unfortunately, we go there and then we take pictures of modern buildings, take picture of modern cars, and then come back and then we want to buy them or erect those buildings, as against doing some things that are going to impact the life of our citizens. It's very, very unfortunate.
Over the years, our presidents have been traveling around the world, but it has not made Nigeria a developed country. So what is the use? Countries don't become great by their presidents traveling around the world. You can count how many times Joe Biden has traveled this year. You can count how many times Vladimir Putin has traveled this year. He doesn't travel as much as the presidents of our underdeveloped countries. True. And in today's digital world, the world has not only become a global village, but you have the whole world in your room. Yesterday I attended a meeting, and all over Africa, deans of faculties of veterinary medicine, we were meeting all over the continent of Africa. And we were discussing, taking decisions that affect, veterinary education establishments across the whole of Africa. We did not need to travel and go and sit down physically in Addis Ababa or in Cairo or in Tunis or anywhere. We were able to meet from the comfort of our offices or rooms and take crucial decisions that will affect us here in Africa as it concerns our profession. The world has become not only a global village, but you can have the whole world inside your room in one place. So presidents should reduce all this unnecessary travel that is a waste of resources of the country. If you hear the millions and the billions that they spend every year on these journeys, you'll be alarmed. And the retinue of aides they carry around with them when they travel. And those aides go there, they don't go there to do anything serious. They go there and they go shopping. From all the escort, all the DTAs, all the allowances they're collecting, they will go and do some shopping and buy things and get some souvenirs and return back. At the end of the day, it doesn't make Nigeria.
And sir, a beautiful proposition will fly even if it is being said over a phone. You don't have to be present. Just like you said it here about the meeting you had yesterday with these of
with landmark decisions taken.
Yes.
And we were not there physically.
Even over phone, you took the decisions yesterday and it is binding. So our presidents can do the same. Why do they have to travel? Are they going for tourism, or are they going there to actually, like I said before, learn how things are done? Even if you're going to learn, there are videos, there are ways and channels you can do all that you don't have to travel. Spending the monies that we don't have, the monies that we borrowed, that should be channeled into advancing the cause of our nation. Rather, we spend it on traveling, spending money up and down, and then we come back and we don't see any notable progress or change or development as far as the nation is concerned. It's unfortunate. Viewers and listeners, if you're out there, we are still on. You're still tuned into the frequency meter of Unity 93.3 FM, and it is still that's your most political and socio-economic program on the radio, the Unity Train. Will be going on this very short break, and we'll be back in a jiffy. Please stay tuned and don't touch that dial.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune into Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way.
It concerns you. It kill law, it kill dreams. It land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was saying things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Unity. Unity TV.
Mr. Politician.
So rightly tuned into the frequency meter of Unity 93.3 FM and TV, and of course it is still that your most anticipated political and social economic program on the radio, the Unity Train. It is still Thursday, the 28th day of November 2024, and we've had a lot of discussion in the house this morning. The professor had a lot to say about certain issues that we have on the newspapers and other issues that we're facing today in our dear nation Nigeria. We are back from that very short break, and we promise that this segment, is your segment where you can call in and give your input. The phone line is going to be open very soon for you to give your input and contribution as to contemporary issues that we have discussed and the ones that you have to say, and put it out there to the appropriate authority. When you want to call 07032353315, and to send your SMS, send it to 08163141141. Professor, you're welcome back from that short break.
Thank you very much, Pedro Michael. Viewers and listeners, especially those of us here within the city of Jos, we want to draw your attention, especially those of us using the road, Bauchi Road, that goes up to the university, the Naraguta campus, and proceeds to Bauchi State. That at the Bauchi Road junction, an oil tanker was just reported to have fallen there right now, and some of its content, oil content, is already spilling out. I want to draw the attention of the people. Please, don't go there to try to fetch oil, to get oil.
It is very, very dangerous.
It is very dangerous. In Jigawa State, we lost more than 100 to 200 people died as a result of trying to get oil. That also happened in River State. That also happened in part of Bayelsa State. That also happened in different parts of the country. Anytime a petrol tanker falls, people will rush there and they will try to get oil. Please, this petrol tanker that has fallen at the Bauchi Road junction, please don't go there to get
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune in to Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay.
Viewers out there and listener, we are very sorry for the break in transmission. That was because of something beyond our control. Before we went on that, before that break in transmission, we were talking about a tanker that fell around Cherry Filling Station here in Bauchi Road, and I was about to say it in HAUSA for the HAUSA listener to be of benefit to the HAUSA listeners. Wani tankin Petri ya faɗi a nan Bauchi Road kusa da Cherry Filling Station kamar da ka je ta University of Jos. Muna roko ne da al'umma ku yi haƙuri kar ku je wajen wai kun je ɗiban fetur dan wannan zai yana iya jawo hatsari, yana ya sa wuta ya tashi a wannan wajen kuma ya shafi rayukan mutane. Dan Allah dan Annabi roko muke kar ku je wannan wajen, ku ba da rata daga wannan wajen, kar ku yi kusa da shi dan ba san ko menene zai iya faru a kowane lokaci ba. Kar a je wai za a diba fetur, mun san gari na da zafi, the economy is hard, let me put it in English, amma kuma rayuwa ya fi duk abin da za mu samu amma mun je a ce za mu je mu ɗiba wannan fetur.
Kuma ka ce za a je kallo.
Yawa,
wurin kallo ma kan mu je idan
Allah
ba kwallo ake bugawa wurin ba. Kan mutane al'umma su ce a bari mu je kallo mu gan ko me zai faru, a ba zuwan kallo. A bar hukuma su yi aikin su. Sun kamata su yi aiki a wurin su je su yi aikin su.
Haka.
So very important, viewers and listeners, if you're within Jos, a petrol tanker just fell around Shirye petrol station, petrol station at the Bauchi Road junction, leading to the University of Jos permanent site. Please, nobody should start running towards the place to get petrol to say, well, this is a golden opportunity. Please, and don't go there for sightseeing. Let's allow the fire service to do their work. Already we are hearing sirens blaring around that place. Let's allow the fire service to do their job. Let's allow the Federal Road Safety to do their job. Let's allow the police to do their job. Let's allow law enforcement agents to do their job. It is not a football match. Don't go there that you want to see what is happening. And you are not an expert in handling fire disaster. Don't go there and say you want to help in collecting the oil. And don't go there thinking that you get some oil for yourself. We've experienced a lot of disasters in this country as a result of petrol tankers being involved in accidents or falling and people trying to get the oil, and then they lost their lives. Many of them were burnt beyond recognition. Please, we don't want this to happen in Jos. And as part of our responsibilities in Unity FM, radio and TV, we're appealing to the public, please avoid the Bauchi Road junction where a petrol tanker has just fallen. Please avoid that place. Don't go there. And those staying around there, please move away as far away as possible from the site of this petrol tanker that just fell. Please, please, it is very important. And enlighten your friends. Call somebody and tell him or her this is what has happened. Please avoid that place for now until the law enforcement agents and the fire service have done the needful, and when the place is safe, then you can start applying that route. Very important.
Thank you so much, Professor, for that information. And it is time for you to call in and give your input as to what we have discussed in the House and any other issue you have at heart to discuss or put outside there to the appropriate authority. The number to call is 0703-235-3315. And the number to send your SMS to is 08163141141. I have my first caller in the House. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from? Yeah, I can hear you. Your name and where you're calling from, sir?
Benedict.
Okay, good morning. Thank you so much, Mr. Benedict. Thank you for that beautiful insight. I agree with you on the fact that the timing for this tax reform and increase in tax is not right. This is not the right time. It is the very wrong time, considering the fact that we just experienced the removal of
Let's use this
subsidy.
opportunity again to talk about what is happening within the city.
Good morning.
A
All right,
petrol
good morning.
tanker just fell at the Bauchi Road junction. Please, people should avoid for now the Bauchi Road junction, especially leading towards the permanent side of the university at Naraguta. A petrol tanker had just fallen at that place. Law enforcement agents are already doing their job. The fire service doing their job. Please avoid that place. Don't go there to get petrol. Don't go there for sightseeing or anything. A petrol tanker just fell at the Bauchi Road junction. I think you need to repeat it in HAUSA again.
All right,
so
I'll
that
repeat that in HAUSA. Let me get this call. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Sadiq Umar. I'm calling from TTNT, doctor.
Okay, Sadiq Umar from TTNT. Good morning.
Yeah,
you have 1 minute.
Actually, it's very, very unfortunate the event that happened, the falling of this tanker. It's a very, very unfortunate issue. And that one, I want you the middle to call on the attention of the government through that area. Because that road from, let's say from Agborukuba go down to Faringada, that road is very, very busy. I think there is need of a flyover bridge there because of the kind of house working the road is. And coming to what you're saying in terms of our leadership in Nigeria, our political leaders, it's very, very unfortunate that we, the citizens, or we, the followers, doesn't want to change. If we decide to change, I think we can make the change right. Because that the leaders are just curing themselves. When we look at the leadership, they are not caring about the people. We are practicing democracy. But in a democracy aspect, we do not get it right. You will see that most of our leaders, they are just taking care of themselves. We, the children, we are the government of ourselves. Let's look at the issue of insecurity now. This insecurity has been escalating for almost a long time. And Nigeria has been spending money on the issue of insecurity. There is no result. Coming of this present administration, what are we benefiting as a citizen? Is it the education that has been privatized and we are talking about loans? Or is it the issue of security? Or is it the issue of health that we have done? We have just said that the issue of tax that they have been taxing Nigerians. We are not seeing any benefit of tax in Nigeria. So you see there is a lot of change that we have to change in Nigeria because the leaders, especially at this Tinubu administration, we are not benefiting anything. The people are suffering. Our economy is in shambles. So there is a need of reform. And we are working with this renewal of this in Kaduna. We are hoping this will work well. But let it not be that Nigerians will suffer with the refinery that is working. Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless you. I'm going to take a few comments from the social media. From Facebook, it says, good morning. This is Aminu Abdullahi Shuaibu. Good morning, Mr. Michael Pedro and the Professor in the studio. I'm watching you live from Lucas Yasementi. Seriously, the effect of tax refund is more than the removal of a subsidy. My question here, please, how do you want people to survive with this bad government policy? Okay, Nigeria, may Allah help us. Muhammad Tajuddin says, good morning, Mr. Pedro, and a very good morning to the Professor Bameyi. Thank you for your good work in the studio. We are happy that the Port Harcourt refinery is now working, but the big question is, can it stay active for a very long time? Hopefully, all other refineries will also come back to work so that there will be much impact, even if one of them gets a problem. We hope with our refineries working, the price of fuel will gradually drop and fuel scarcity will be history. Mohammed Tajuddin from Naraguta. Aliu Maza says, good morning, Mr. Pedro, Professor Bameyi, and Barrister Zaruma. May Almighty Allah bless you all for always increasing our knowledge. Watching you live from Ghana, Rob. Thank you, Aliu Maza. Good morning.
Hello, Pedro.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Thank you. I'm Musa Ike Kalu calling you from Hontigi. Good morning to the good bro.
Good morning.
You see, I want to talk about this issue of tax reform. You can see the 19 governors of the North are now coming up together to see that this thing doesn't scale through. You see, we are talking about taxation. Nigeria should understand the situation we are in. We are being taxed in federal, we are being taxed in the state, we are being taxed in the local government. All these governors that you are hearing them coming up to pray together to cancel against this tax reform in their various states, tell them, both from them to the local government, how many of them have started paying the minimum wage of 70,000 naira? You see, we should know what our problem is. These people are just coming together, not for the sake of Nigeria. If they really know the economic hardship Nigerians we will have facing, by now they would have started paying the 70,000 naira. Is there any of them paying? You can see them coming up with any kind of policy, both from the state to the local government. What is here is an executive order. Nobody cares about me and you. Nigerians do know the situation where you see this show, blind followership. You continue praising. This one is doing this, he's doing that, he's doing that. Suffering and smiling. What are we talking about? If we are not moving properly in Nigeria, we know what is really our problem. All these kind of people you are seeing, I'm telling you, if I were lecturer for the thinkers, if my vote and your vote will count, will any of them come back to leadership? What are we talking about? We are into artificial colonization. Nigeria should know. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. God bless you, Mr. Ike Kalu. This one says, good morning. Mike Pedro and the Prof. Our Nigerian problem has grown high above the sea level. Since Nigerians are patiently bearing the hardship, insecurity, hunger and starvation, our leaders are busy embezzling and looting. Our leaders don't have the zeal, vision and patriotism to serve this country. All they wanted is how to accumulate billions of naira for themselves and their families. Nigeria is a great country, but our leaders destroyed growth and the development of the country. We must depart this world someday, and all the loots will be left behind. Regards to Kulbi and the barrister, Emmy Longs from Agenge. Thank you, Emmy Longs, for that beautiful message. Good morning, sir. You have 1 minute.
Thank you very much, Andy. I'm Professor Bani.
Thank you, Mr. Adeumi.
Mr. Adeumi calling from Bochiro.
Thank you, Mr. Adeumi.
The Nigerians celebrate the Port Harcourt refinery. We are happy for the Port Harcourt refinery. But can we see the Port Harcourt refinery bringing and promoting transparency and even hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you, sir.
Bring transparency and even bring down the prices of fuel in this country. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
So if we see that and if Nigeria, because presently the next Port Harcourt refinery has started work, a lot of cars have been parked at home. People are not still driving. The price of fuel has not even come down in the at various filling stations. If this will not bring down the prices of fuel, then honestly, even bringing the Port Harcourt refinery or whatsoever working, without even proper accountability and transparency, and to ensure that there is proper sustainability of this refinery, then we are just saying what we like. And on the other hand, in as much as the president has released fuel subsidy, the tax reduction that Nigerian benefit has gone, and now they are now coming up with a tax reform. Who knows the dimension which the tax reform will take? I think there are our leaders need advisors. In as much as we always call every morning to try out and tell our leaders the problem we're facing, they keep giving us more than we can buy. I think it's better we get better advisors for our leaders to advise them more. The Nigerians are not finding things funny. They have sacrificed a lot. Can we see them sacrifice and cut down on the cost of governance? Not the only thing Nigerians have been crying for. The cost of governance, there is nothing done about it. So they can now sit down and deliberate on issues of tax reform that will not benefit the masses. I think our leaders must do the right thing.
Thank you.
Get out of fun.
Thank you so much.
As you have said earlier, people should be careful around Boti Junction area, because I see a lot of people creeping towards that side. People be careful and don't go to such areas. And the government must help us to do the right thing, because that Boti Junction is just the other time a lot of life was lost and property. Let the right thing be done. If it's possible that a flyover can be at that Boti Junction, I think we'll be happy.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Adewumi. This one says, good morning, Mr. Pedro, Honor, amiable, consistent, and passionate analyst, Professor Bamayu. Kudos always to your wonderful, educative, and objective analysis. Honestly, we have so many sycophants in Nigeria that is why our leaders think they are doing the right thing. They embezzle billions of naira and go scot-free. It's so unfortunate. It's time we all rise up and speak truth to power. If there are many people speaking truth to power, I am sure our leaders will rise up to their responsibility. Peace is priceless. Let's live in peace. God bless Unity FM, Plateau State and Nigeria. Christy Izan from Rukuba Road, That was from Christy Izang. Thank you, Christy Izang, for that beautiful text message. This one says, good morning, Mr. B and P. Regards to the prof in the house. The prof have spoken well. I'm calling on the prof to advise my mentor, Professor Nentawe, as a Minister of Humanitarian and Poverty Reduction. He has started on a good pedestrian. He has started his first call of assignment in Borno. I hope he will continue in such path. Equally, calling on the member representing Jos North/Basa Federal Constituency to do the needful. We are not seeing his representation on the Green Chamber and also in his constituency. Suleiman Science from Yusuf Street. Thank you, Suleiman Science, for that beautiful text message. This one says, Pedro and Prof B, we really appreciate you. We all love you for the sake of God. Prof, we know our beginning and we don't know our end. We know our beginning and we don't know our end. Prof B, NNPC Director of Finance, was sacked because he told the truth to power. Man's feet will not move on the day of resurrection before he is asked about his life. How did he consume it? His knowledge. What did he do with it? His wealth. How did he earn it? And how did he dispose it? And about his body. How did he wear it out? Be mindful of God. Hassan Garba. I know that is from Hassan Garba. I'll be taking this last call, and after that we'll be signing out. Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
I am Bashir Wantan Dankoli.
Bashir Dankoli, you have 1 minute, please, sir.
All right. Appreciate Professor H. May God bless you.
Amen. Thank you very much.
I want to say one or two things. Our Governor Excellency, was one. When he came to office, he did fantastically well. He fixed up our road from Mango Street, then coming to Zoloro Junction. And we knew with a hard-working governor. We have a road in Yanganda where the Nalon administration left it without doing anything, 8 years. And we are calling on the governor of Mofwan to fix back that road. And our road in this place, Corona, and the other one in Dogonduzi, we have that time of election. We have no problem. We should sit down in the office. We give him vote again. He continue in his office. This is what I want to contribute for today. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you so much. God bless you. It is time for us to sign out from the studio this morning. It has been a very beautiful time with you out there, our dear listener. Tomorrow we'll be back, same time, same station. Stay blessed and do well to impact somebody as you go about your business today. God bless you. See you tomorrow.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion?